Okay, you are live. Thank God for Jesus for that. I'm not talking about disconnection live. I'm talking about being alive. God bless each and every one of you. Like my mother always say, thank God for Jesus. Truly appreciate you. I hope everyone's doing well out there and your whole families. Shout out to everybody over there on YouTube that just joined in. We appreciate you and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. What I say each and every morning. Welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Why? The chat room is wide open. Or if you love to call in, chop it up with your boy. The number's 570-982-6950. How many times have I asked you for this plea that I asked you for? But if you don't mind, please like, share, follow, subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team. Shout out to all our listeners out there, our day one listeners and our new listeners. We truly, truly appreciate you. And I gotta let you guys know that how super excited and how 100% committed I am to this brand each and every morning. Well, 3 mornings out the week. Because remember back in the heyday, we used to do this 5 days a week. And Lord knows I'm going to try my best to get it back to 5 days. Tomorrow, probably, or most definitely Monday, I will announce the date that the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team will have a live podcast at Comedy in Harlem. It's going to be sometime in September. Once I get that date, you know I'm going to start promoting 24 hours a day until that date in September. I want to shout out to all the promoters and comedians that's been hiring me for doing comedy shows, corporate folks for hiring me for their corporate events. I am truly blessed and grateful for you guys for believing in my funny, in my business, and also in my professionalism to continue to hire me to entertain your audience throughout this summer. So I want to say thank you. This is the only place on this entire earth where you get your morning love. I've been saying it for years. A lot of y'all, even myself, there might be a little deficit of love in the morning. No one told you to be careful. No one loved you. You didn't get kissed on the forehead. You didn't get a hug. You prayed for yourself, which was a good look. But if you have a deficit of love this morning, I'm here to let you know that this is your sanctuary before we get into the madness of a Toxic Talk Thursday. This is your sanctuary where you can gather around the morning campfire and you will receive the love that you haven't been receiving on a daily basis because of the loving members of our chat room. Man, I feel so blessed today. And most importantly, this is the only place on this entire earth where you get your morning started right. Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Soon as Sister Soldier enters the chat room and she starts placing the hearts in the chat room, guys, please let's follow along. She's our official moderator of the chat room. Now, SennyJ be in a minute. We haven't seen Senny in a while, so I'm excited for her to be here on this show. And shout out to Miss Miko. Now, let's start off with those overwhelming floods in Texas over the last couple of days in Central Texas, where hundreds of people are missing, and it's so sad, and hundreds of people have passed away. I don't want to, start the show off like this, but it's what's going on right now. But there's a point that I'm about to drive to about this horrific tragedy that happened in the state of Texas. Sister Soldier, I just mentioned your name. Sister Soldier, when you place those hearts in the chat room, I need everyone to follow along, including myself. So when she puts the hearts in the chat room, I put the hearts in the chat room. And Sister Soldier, I appreciate your service for being the official moderator of this room. And God bless you. And then I was watching these stories on the news and on TikTok and on Instagram about these people in Central Texas that dealt with this tremendous flood a few days back. Which, by the way, the floods came in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning. We all know the story. And there wasn't no warning, and the warning signs didn't go up. They're supposed to have some horns when when there's flood water or heavy activity, and the so-called horns didn't go off at 4 o'clock in the morning. And some of these people tragically was asleep. I don't know if you saw the video. Natalie Wright, God bless you and good morning, Natalie. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team is coming back to Harlem, to Comedy in Harlem, 750-A St. Nicholas Avenue on the corner of 147th Street in the daytime. We're going to do the podcast. We're going to do the after party. We're going to do a meet and greet. It'll be your boy Harvey, SennyJ, and Miss Miko, and some special guests. But I need all you guys in the building. It's probably going to be September the 20th or the 27th on the Saturday. LaShawn Haynes Jones, I hope you're not somewhere in Africa or Asia or on the 116th train station platform. I need you in the building, sis, because you know how I feel about you. And then I saw these tragic, SennyJ's coming in the building in a minute. And then I saw this tragedy unfold on social media, on TV, where the flood waters, obviously overtook the banks and just flooded everything. Houses, RV camps, people in cars. Naroma Johnson, I had the date either tomorrow or definitely Monday. Comedy in Harlem, September the 20th or the 27th. We finally got it. Thank God for Jesus. I need everyone in the building. If you're celebrating a birthday, I want everybody to get dressed up. We're going to have special guests, and we're going to honor the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team with our live performance. Bernadette, God bless you, Bernadette Chisholm Wilson. I appreciate you, sis. You know I love you. I need you in the building. I have the official date. It's either September the 20th or the 27th. I'll know that by Monday. Maybe I can know as early as tonight. It's up to the approval of the ownership, Jamie Roberts and Nikki Sunshine. And then I saw these videos of Bernadette of these houses and cars and RV trailers and refrigerators and human beings floating down this river that was unforgiving in the middle of the night. And obviously we know that there was some kids out there in a camp, and a lot of them perished away. I think that last night the death count was 110 and counting, and there was still 100 and something people still missing. And our prayers go out to the family down there in Texas. And that's why I wanted my beloved, your inbox, my beloved nephew, Lee Scott, because he lives in Texas every day. But here was the interesting part about this story that fascinated me. This was the part. This hold on, Cindy. Hold on, guys. This Cindy sound crazy over there. Wait, Cindy, there's some distortion over there. But here was the crazy part before we show you some love, Cindy J. Can you say something?
You told me to hold on.
Okay, good. I can. But I don't know, when you came in, pause, it's all of a sudden it's some kind of audible situation. But hold on. So here's the problem. Here's the thing that fascinated me about this, guys. Here's the thing that fascinated me about this whole situation, this whole tragic situation. Governor Abbott, and you know Cindy J and Alto and myself throughout the years, if you've been listening to that show, if you're listening to this show, we ordained Governor Abbott of Texas. We call him King Abbott, and also King DeSantis in Florida. And he made a passionate plea that he had no resources to help him out with this tragedy. because of some of these budget cuts from the federal government, from your boy Donald Trump. Hear me out. Let me cook. Let me cook. Let me cook before we talk about SennyJ real quick and how's it. Senny, it's good to see you. Look great. But let me cook right now. Just let me cook.
He's chefing it up, y'all. He's chefing it up.
The King Abbott of Texas had an emotional plea that he had no resources to help with this tragic flood because the Trump administration had laid off a bunch of meteorologists, and there was a bunch of people that definitely are experts in tragedy that the Trump administration had discontinued. But here's the profound thing I want to say about this, and it's almost SennyJ poetic justice. Don't you know, guys, that a bunch of Mexican folk from Mexico came came across the border to help these unfortunate Americans through this tragedy. And Cindy, I want to let's hear this clip if you can, if you don't mind, and then we'll get into your whole situation. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can. They can wait. Listen. Nothing he could do. He stepped up to save lives. While the floodwaters swept away homes, families, and hope in South Texas, the governor appeared on television, his voice shaking, saying his hands were tied, that he had no resources, no way to help. But someone did. From across the river, without cameras, without promises, hundreds of Mexican rescuers crossed over on their own. They came with backpacks on their shoulders, trained dogs by their side, and hearts full of faith. They didn't wait for orders. They didn't ask for permission. They just heard the cry of a neighbor, and they answered. And now, in the mud and rubble of cities like Laredo, Eagle Pass, and Mission, the loudest voices aren't speaking English. They're speaking Spanish. Mexican voices saying, hold on, we're here. Because welcome to the show, guys. The only place on earth where you get your moments all right. My Mexican friends came over the border and are still over on the American side, helping these Texas folks, who, by the way, voted for Donald Trump. And I don't want to get political about it, but voted for Donald Trump. And now to get rid of illegal immigration. And guess how is it poetic justice that the illegals have come over the border to help folks that voted against them? Now, guys, welcome to the show. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team with the one and only. She's in the building, looking absolutely beautiful. Give it up, guys. She has great skin. Let's clap for the one and only SennyJ. Let's go.
Hello out there.
Cindy, first of all, it's good to see you. It's good to hear your voice. And how you been?
Good. I have been doing great. It's so good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing good, enjoying their summer so far. Have you been enjoying summer, Shawn? Have you touched the sand of our East Coast shores yet?
Harvey hasn't had no time for that because Harvey's out there being productive. I will take a break. I'm not going anywhere exotic like you, going to the Galapagos Islands, but the family and I next month's going to take a nice little trip to just a regular location. So thanks for asking, and I hope all is well with you, Cindy J. And Cindy sent me a preliminary date. I think the September the 20th is a date that we're going with. I have to talk to the management at Comedy in Harlem. Reggie Rez, good morning. Princess Cox, no pause. God bless you with your inspirational videos. We truly appreciate you. So by Monday, I will have that date. And guess what, guys? If it's September the 20th, please, we need everyone to come out and you will see the Funky Three together on a rare occasion, us doing a live podcast. So we appreciate you. Cindy, you up next. You on deck. God bless you. It's good to see you. What you got for us, good people, on this Toxic Talk Thursday, if you don't mind?
Well, what I do have, I don't really know what you guys have been talking about. I'm a little out of the loop here, but what I am going to ask is if anybody has been to Red Lobster to have their new seafood boils. You know, they have a new CEO, and he's a Black man, a young 30-something-year-old progressive Black. And he has been making changes because, you know, Red Lobster has gone through was going through bankruptcy and has actually closed, hundreds of locations, I believe, but he was trying to revive it so that they didn't fully go under. And a lot of people started doing like reviews of the seafood boil. Now, from what I've seen, I mean, it looks like a decent seafood boil. I haven't been to Red Lobster like legit in like, I want to say at least 10 years. Cause I don't even know. Like I feel like last year was 5 years ago. So my concept of time is a little off. But I feel like it's been at least 10 years since I've been at Red Lobster. And I didn't stop going because it was bad. I just didn't really go. However, the CEO, he has been listening to what everybody has said. He put out a video. His name is Damola Adamalekan. Adamalekan. He has announced changes to the restaurant's seafood boils after backlash from fans. Most notably, the rapper Plies, who did a video saying that the boil was bland. Responding to the critique, Damola said the company is revamping its seasoning blends and finishing sauces to deliver bolder, more authentic flavors. The new updates will also include Old Bay and Parmesan and a bold new spiciness. Um, and he said that, he appreciates everybody that's been coming out to support the seafood boils. He said, we're listening. He said, keep the comments coming. He said he wants to shout out to his teams across the nation for making all these changes. He says you can now add sausage on top of the spiciness level and more flavors. He said now we can also add sausage to the boils. And he just really is happy, about people going and his team, and shouted out the team and the cooks and the waiters and waitresses who have been doing everything to bring people back. So I just really like that. I like the personalization and it makes me want to go try one of the boils now. So put a one in the chat if you've tried the seafood boils and if you're now gonna try it now that they've made some changes. If you've heard some nastiness online, let us know.
Welcome to the show, guys. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring Wake Up Team. What's the one and only, the day one, SennyJ, and we truly appreciate you so much, Senny. Senny and I've been doing this from day one now, which is well documented. Pause. Progressively black could go either way.
He looks like a nice guy. Wait, let me see if I can have the clip from
Progressively black could be in the positive, or we know some progressively black neighbors as well.
Wait, let me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He looks like the coach of the new coach of the New York Knicks, Mike Brown with hair.
You want even more heat? I'm waiting. Even more flavor.
Now,
Turning it up.
I'll tell you this. Uh, Before we get into the seafood boil, which I was never a fan of, I never was a fan of it, right? Uh, Cindy, I like you said, for the years you've been to Red Lobsters, but Cindy, back a few generations ago, for some of us, quote unquote, as they would say, old heads or OGs, that was the place to meet. That was the place where the elite meet. That's where you, back in the day, if you took a date to Red Lobster, you was bagging that. It was a certain stature of neighbors that would roll through Red Lobsters because it was a place to be.
Period.
So for black folks back in the day, Cindy J, it was a whole lot of hoopla. It was a central meeting place for the up and comings, everybody of black folks.
I
Red
remember.
Lobsters, right?
I remember.
And on top of that, uh, shout out to there go my nephew Lee Scott in the building. We was just talking about Texas. Cindy will probably circle back to that in a minute.
Give a damn about Texas.
Now, black folks, all of us blackies, all of the blacks, we love the season. We will season Kool-Aid if we could.
We do with the
And
sugar.
we do sugar and we do season. That's what we do. Black don't crack. We just swell up as we get older. Now, put that season in that seafood food boil, my friend. And because this is a brother, as Cindy would identify him as progressively black, I find that funny. This is a guy who knows and hears the need of the neighbor community. You want to turn up and rep lobster, sir? Now we need the music. We want music while we putting our sticky fingers in our little seafood boil that's now seasoned up. And City J uh piqued my interest and my sense in my nose got aroused. Pause. When she said we could add that Old Bay in there because
Obey a Parmesan? I mean, that might hit. I never thought about it myself. With a little garlic butter on the and make it mild. I can't do spicy. I have heartburn, but mild garlic sauce. Okay, garlic butter with the Old Bay and Parmesan. I don't know. I'm just saying,
City,
Red Lobster will be seeing me
well,
expeditiously.
City, it sounds so enticing. Maybe you and I should go after the show today. Because what black person can't go wrong with an Old Bay and Parmesan? Listen, pause. I'll open my mouth and you can just dump it into the palate. That's all I need. Stuff me with some Parmesan. That
Okay.
will shut me. That will shut me the fuck up. And if he said the butter bit, did you say the butter biscuits? What did you
I
say about butter?
the cheddar bay biscuits always
Oh,
busting. You
oh,
can't.
oh,
They're always busting. But the garlic butter, you can get flavored butter
no.
in the
Ooh.
boil. So Old Bay and Parmesan seasoning with that garlic butter. I don't know. I'm just
I'm saying this, since this is I would go back to sitting again, this progressively black neighbor. Here's what the black folks are saying. And I think that because of this report, which by the way, thank you, Cindy, I didn't know anything about this.
you didn't know, you didn't hear anything about this.
Sorry, I dropped my black card for the last couple of days.
This
Excuse
has
me.
been going on for like at least 6 months, or
So,
maybe
guys,
the last 3 months. I want to say it's really taken off.
what do you think? Should there be a resurgence? Should we revisit? Should we go knock on the doors of the beloved Red Lobster, which have endured its ups and downs throughout the last generations, where there was one point that Red Lobster was on life support. But now we got Parmesan cheese and Obey with the butter garlic. Niggas, what we gonna do? Finny, let's get a reservation.
Well, what's crazy too is that there was this resurgence. There was like almost, because Red Lobster wasn't fully out of business yet, but all of these red juicy crabs, rocking crab, it seemed like all of these seafood boil places started popping up everywhere. I think it started with like Joe's Crab Shack as well. They started infringing on the thing, and I'm sure the overhead is way less doing a seafood boil than having this big long menu of pastas and all this other stuff. So it's actually, Red Lobster, I'm sure they're probably pissed. Like, how did they should have been at the forefront of the seafood boils. But I guess they didn't know how to like to transition, because it's like formal dining. It's like casual formal dining. So it was kind of like, who's gonna really do the seafood boil bag thing? So it's kind of sad to see the Red Lobsters trying to like keep up with the trend, but it might bring people back. I like the boils. Why don't you like the boils, Sean? You just don't
Well,
like the whole digging in the.
now, yeah, the whole two reasons. The whole digging in, especially when my nails are done.
True.
Uh,
I have to wear the gloves. I can't.
And my last two boil experiences were horrific because there was no season in sight. I say respectively,
Aw.
and that's the reason why that I'm hesitant towards the boil. But since the brother, again for the fourth time, the progressively black brother is calling on us, all us blacks and the browns, to revisit a place that's been embedded and out in black culture for generations without the corporate America. I say let's do it. But Cindy just brings up a good point. And right, all the other flaming crabs and the other uh, 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 lower level crab places that's been exploding, especially post COVID, has definitely been a go-to for the minority community and the Babylonians. So good luck to Red Lobster. Put a number one in the chat room if you remember back in the day when Red Lobster was the place where the elite meet. I yield my time.
Shout out to Naroma. She said she went to Red Lobster in Albany on Tuesday and it was great. Naroma, she said she loves the biscuits. Did you try the new seafood boils? And supposedly they're cheap. They range from like $30 to $50. So that's a great price point. I mean,
Well,
whenever me and my kids go to the crab place, we're spending at least
yeah.
200 because we like to get the big platter that they like light on fire and we just go to town. So but that is kind of on par because if we were to just get like they call it like a weekend special and it's like a snow crab cluster, a half a pound of shrimp, and I forget what else comes on it, a half a pound of shrimp, and I think like you can add sausage or something else like that. That's like 34.99. So it's not bad. It's like the, you know what I mean?
Well,
Reggie
Cindy,
Reg said lobster mac and cheese at Red Lobster is the bomb. You can only get it on the appetizer menu. Lee
yeah,
Scott, Lee, you don't like Red Lobster?
Cindy, I say this respectfully to the our beloved Nyroma Johnson. Red Lobster's different in Albany, New York, from the Bronx and Harlem. It's a different flavor. Uh, we got real neighbors cooking down in the hood in Brooklyn, comparison to Albany. No disrespect, because I do know that some of these franchises have to follow a particular guideline for the food to taste the same way. I think we all can agree with that. Shout out to the beloved Diane Hall that's in the chat room. But I'm not gonna bet my life on it, Roma. I do believe you that the food was good in Albany. God bless Albany, New York. But you know where that flavor really is. It's down here in the city,
I
and
was Go ahead.
we got migrants making that red lobster in the back. Don't get it twisted. And one Asian dude. Oh, there go the hearts. They're in the chat room right now, guys. I'm gonna go into the chat room right now. I'm gonna put the hearts in the chat room. Cindy, I don't know, you haven't been here in a while. Sister Soldier is our Where's the Hearts moderator. When she puts the hearts in the chat room, everybody please follow along. Cindy, while you give your next story, I'll put the hearts in the chat room for us.
Okay. We appreciate that from you guys. Um the next story that I have, Kai Sanat, he is facing backlash for partnering with Target amid an ongoing DEI boycott. And we all love Kai. He's a young man coming up trying to, make his millions. And he's catching heat online after teaming up with Target to debut his new personal care brand. It's called Tone. Isn't there already a brand called Tone? Okay. All amid ongoing boycotts over the retailer's rollback of DEI initiatives. Social media users have slammed him following his overnight live stream inside a Target alongside members of his with his prank group AMP. The 23-year-old has been labeled socially unaware and accused of ignoring communities of color that are taking a stand against the Trump administration's attack onto DEI. Target has been facing major scrutiny, of course. Um, Pastor Jamal Bryant, who launched the Target Fast after the company scaled back its DEI efforts, had this to say about Kai's endorsement. He said, if Target would spend as much energy and resources meeting the demands of the Target boycott as they are on influencers, paying preachers, and going to Essence Fest, we would be further along. Target, of course, is still maintaining that they are committed to inclusion. Still, critics feel both disappointed by Kai's participation and frustration by what they see as Target trying to distract from this DEI rollback. Now, supposedly, the boycott has done really well. Target has lost millions. Even their CEO has been reportedly having to take a substantial pay cut due to the losses that they are trying to recover from. But do you think it's okay? Do you think we should be holding these influencers accountable, or they're just trying to get their bag, or do we not care anymore? Because you know what? I had two friends over the weekend who were like, "Oh, let's run into Target real quick. I have to get something." I was like, "Ah, how you still going to Target?" And they were like, "Oh, girl, because it's the only place around me, or whatever. Who cares?" Like, I was very shocked. You know what I'm saying? Because I expect the people in my circle, we need to be on code, okay? And ambassador of the chat room, I'm gonna call her out too because I want to put her on or in the early days of the Target boycott. Vanetta had me up in there.
Ooh.
But I made her pay for my stuff because I was like, I'm not.
Mm.
My money is not going in the machine, girl. But I went in though. But it's almost like the black people that you see in Target where you go. It's like you want to give them that look like for real, but they looking at you like, are you for real? Cause you in here too. But I see y'all.
uh,
Starbucks crack addicts. That's what one of my friends said. She was like, it's the only place close to get a Starbucks.
uh,
I see y'all. But I like Kai, so I don't know. Get your bag. Like, I don't really know what to say at this point. I think people have boycott fatigue.
uh, guys, welcome to the show, any place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring the Wake Up team with the only one, the day one, SennyJ is in the building, and we truly appreciate you. I've been socially unaware for 40 years.
Are you going in Target, Shawn?
Let me tell you something. I followed my marching orders from the young black folks that are socially aware. And when they gave marching orders that us blacks was not to report in Target, Mr. Harvey hasn't set his foot in there from day one. I don't even know what it looks like in Target, and Target can kiss my black ass. Back in the day, I kept that same energy. Can I cook, City? I haven't been in a Starbucks when they arrested them black men in Philadelphia back in the day. I even cursed out my daughter when she's like, I gotta stop at Starbucks. I said, don't you go in Starbucks. Are you out of your mind? Take your punk ass to Dunkin' Donuts.
Like everybody else. America runs on Dunkin'. Never forget.
That's right. And it also runs on child support.
Period. That I've never gotten.
Me either. I've had funded it. I funded it.
That's
I
a story.
paid child support for one of my kids I didn't even like. I didn't like this little neighbor. Now, I salute all my blacks and my brown people who attended Essence Festival and walked past that Target booth like it didn't even exist. Then give a round of applause to us black folks. And for the CEO of Target, which is a black woman, well, one of that was in charge of the Essence Fest, you should be ashamed of yourself by kind of diverting the festival more of an Afrocentric than a homegrown African American black folks experience. To this social media genius who's been catching heat because he's uh um endorsing and getting paid by Target. I do agree with Cindy, but part of me don't. Get your money, sir. But there is a level of responsibility for you social media influencers that you might want to read the temperature in the room before you jump out the window for the bag. Read the temperature in the room, young man. Your name is Ty, and the name of your brand is Tone. Pause.
His name is Kai.
Ty, I'm sorry. Ty, and your brand, Kai, Zai, whatever. No disrespect. And then your name of your brand is Tone. I don't know what that is, but thank you for sharing.
I know
I
what.
do, I do agree. There's other outlets, and since you have millions of followers, I'm assuming you could put that brand in your own website, or you probably do, but you don't need the target who is 100% behind the DEI experience in this country. Black folks, you should be ashamed of yourself for going to Target. Cindy dropped the dime on the ambassador of the chat room. I'm going to have to look at her application as chat room ambassador. And if you keep going back to Target, we might have to remove that.
We might have to take a look because
Listen, and for Cindy to be so transparent to share that her friends in a cavalier type of an attitude was like, bitch, let's just go in Target. No, no. Black folks, until our leadership says it's okay, stay out of Target. I know you're going there on the low, 10 o'clock at night. Nobody see you. You going off hours. But your conscience know, the Lord know, and all your black ancestries know. I'm talking about your slave aunts and uncles and great grandfolks who were tortured in this country. They see your punk ass going into Target.
we see you.
We see you, and your soul sees you. And take heed on what black folks did in New Orleans. Even though Essence Fest was a train wreck, but Cindy might talk about that. They 100% did not support the Target booth. I yield my time. And yes, and I've been socially unaware for 40 years. God bless. I yield back.
No, I mean, I agree with everything you said. And, I need Target to go out of business. And this is why, hello, this is why it comes like when black people need to stand on code. I know we're not all the same and we're not on a monolith, but when it comes to social issues, we need to all stand on code. We need to all be down for the brown when things are happening. Y'all
And
trying to other yourselves into, oh, we're not doing this and it doesn't matter. Like, we need you to be
I,
like,
I,
come on, you can really go anywhere else. You really can. It's not that serious.
I
So
like the way.
so to me, when it's like it's almost like you're not supposed to go in there and you still go. And to me, that's like you're saying like F you, who cares? So you don't care about everything that's going on. Okay.
Uh,
How are we
before,
supposed to make change though? You know what I'm saying? But shout
exactly.
out to people that are doing it because it has made a difference. You
Well,
outliers need to get it together.
SennyJ, thank you for your word play. I like that. Down with the brown. Let me tell you something. My wife is nowhere near anything brown, and she doesn't even go to Target. This is just to big her up because in this house, this is a liberal house, and it's a house of the non-Target. So if you go to Target right now and you're listening to this show, and you have a conflict with your soul right now because you're listening to the beloved Queen Cindy J and your favorite Uncle Harvey, and you have a conflict with your soul at the moment, then that's the clear message to tell you do the right thing. Stay out of Target until our leadership says otherwise. Guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for following along with Sue's Sister Soldier, our unofficial official moderator, for throwing those hearts in the chat room. Cindy, I yield my time. What's next?
Yes. Moving on, YouTube. There are some big changes coming to YouTube. Anybody that uses YouTube and is monetized on it. I know what's been getting big on YouTube is the shorts. So it's almost like an Instagram style, TikTok style part of the platform that they've created, and they created this a few years ago. But you can instead, YouTube is supposed to be long form content. So videos that are 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes or longer is really what they promote to put on YouTube, long form content. And I guess in an effort to keep up with TikTok and Instagram and everything like that, they've created YouTube Shorts. Now, a lot of creators have been becoming rich off this, as all they do on other platforms. They make these videos. My son watches them all the time. They're called brain rot videos because they're literally just clips of like something else playing in the background and then like words going across the screen. Like they're all AI generated. YouTube has put out a statement and they are saying that they're going to be implementing a new monetization policy starting July 15th. And it's aimed at limiting the earnings of channels that publish mass produced, repetitive, or low effort videos. The platform has updated its partner program guidelines to identify such content and prevent it from generating revenue. They said that YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content. On July 15th, we're updating our guidelines to better identify mass produced and repetitious content. The policy continues to require creators to meet eligibility standards. A channel must have at least 1,000 subscribers and either 4,000 valid public watch hours in the past year or 10 million valid public short views in the last 90 days. So, all those, quick little videos. And I even think there's people that like, there have been millionaires that have been made off of this because so many people watch these videos because they literally just come across your screen and people just, watch them unintentionally. So, they're doing away with that. They said content borrowed from other sources must be significantly altered to be considered original. So, like, no more, like, where people post videos of like other people's content and then just like have their picture in the bottom, like doing a reaction.
Yeah.
That repetitive content must serve a purpose beyond gaining views. It must be either entertaining or educational. um Clickbait, templated, AI generated content, especially videos that rely on AI generated voices or reuse other creators materials with minimal editing. Um this update um also comes after they made a change that barred users under 16 from live streaming on the platform without adult supervision, especially with the gaming. So, if you're a YouTube creator that's been getting money off of, fake videos, and actually it's kind of interesting because now I'm wondering, is this something that's going to happen across all social media platforms? People do say, even though TikTok pays you out faster, they do say any social media platform you're on that you want to make a bag, it is on YouTube. So I guess maybe that's why they're cracking down because YouTube really pays significantly well. So what do you think about that?
Welcome to the show, guys. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. With the Queen SennyJ, also the Queen Miss Miko. I will have a date. It's going to be in September. I need everyone in the building. Comedy in Harlem, Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. We'll have a day party in the afternoon. We're going to get together. You're going to see SennyJ with her beautiful self. She's going to be fly as hell. Miss Miko's going to look nice. Harvey's going to dress up. And we need everyone in the building. So not only will we do a live podcast and talk about some topics and the things that we do. And if you've never been to a Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team live podcast in person, it is such a wonderful experience. And we would love all you guys to come on out. We truly are blessed that partnering with Comedy in Harlem, where it keeps the power of the economic black dollar moving in the same circles. We truly excited about that as well. Uh, it's time to get to work, guys. Is The big checks are done. And God bless all the millionaires. Well, Cindy, on my personal page, I made so far with true transparency. So far, my next payout, I've made $22.85.
Amazing. You're on your way, Harv. You're on your way.
So
You'd probably make more if you put your comedy clips up there.
I know
Why don't you put none of your content?
I'm gonna do it. I know everybody's saying I'm gonna do it.
Fly in here that's like the size of my face. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, guys, yeah, we live in the world of the shorts. Pause. It feeds our instant gratification. It excites our brain cells. We don't have the time that we used to do back in the biblical days, which was 3 years ago, to go through a lengthy 1 minute video. Wow, who has the time for that? When I can fill my pleasures and my in my whole zone with a 30-second or 10-second clip. And that's the times that we live in. So because of that, YouTube is like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. We want you, back in the day, we wanted you to produce something so you can get paid. Now you're not producing nothing. You're actually using other people's video. You put your little video on the box, your image on the box, and you feel like you're gonna get paid. Those days are over. So I don't know.
okay.
And on top of that, guys, your likeness, boy, saying that must be a big ass fly. Your likeness is
You hear it?
in. Yeah, I can hear it, and I did see it go by this a moment ago.
Oh my
Uh,
God, it's
got
disgusting. I hate flies.
the monetization of the whole social media platform is going to really come to a serious situation of jeopardy. AI is coming out, and you're going to have AI clips and AI people replacing people. We're seeing it done right now. So, and forget about that. We also have autonomous cars coming out. That could be regulated, I think. But the AI imaging on social media, it ain't nothing nobody can do about that. So you making live content might be insignificant to what's really going to happen down the pipeline with AI. So guys, who's on that gravy train of being a millionaire, God bless you. Those days are over, unfortunately, and AI is coming into play. Now, and before we move on, and welcome to the show, the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Guys, I read a story. The porn industry and porn workers, and I do agree with SennyJ for throughout the years. Cindy always used to say, porn is, they're actors, which it is true. And I was in denial when I used to watch porn. It wasn't acting at all. But these guys are really actors. They really are. So I do agree. Calm down. Calm down. It's only a fly.
I don't want it to touch me, Shawn. I
Come
don't even
on.
know how it got in here, bro. Oh my God, I'm freaking out.
And now, while Cindy's freaking out with a big bumblebee, don't you know the porn actors are trying to pass some type of legislation because now the AI is taking over where now AI actors are doing the porn.
They
What
fucking nasty too.
and not only that, you can make your own AI fantasy man or woman. Why would you need another industry? The weathermen, news reporters. If they don't regulate this, we don't need them. They're going to be, listen, 2 years from now, you're going to be watching the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team with an AI Cindy and an AI Harvey.
I get it. That I think it's so cool. You know what also is really cool about AI, right? Is that look how real and how good it looks right now. And this is still the early versions of AI. So imagine in like 5 to 10 years what AI is going to look like and what's going to be. what it's going to be capable of. I mean, of course, I know everybody knows the whole like doomsday thing or whatever, but it's actually kind of interesting and I'm excited about it. You know what I mean? Um I think more people and you know how I kind of see the shift when I am working sometimes, with older people and their resistance to new things. This is why we still have people in the workplace that don't know how to use certain things because every time something new was presented to them, they were like, oh no, I don't want to use that. Oh no, the old way is better. Paper and pen, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's doing that anymore. So even if you don't agree with it, I think it would behoove you to at least know the fundamentals of how it works because you're keeping yourself back. And who knows, you could, be in a position where it could benefit you. But if you don't even know the simplest things of how it works, how things are shared, how things are happening, you're really going to be left behind really fast. And, I don't think that's anybody, that's beneficial to anybody, especially with how many people I see sharing AI videos that they think is real is wild to me. And these are not 50 and older. These are people in their 30s, people in their 20s. I'm like, girl, that's fake. They're like, no, it's not. How can you tell?
Well,
Put the image in Google, reverse image Google search. You know how many of my friends I had to teach about Google reverse image search? They didn't know you could do that. So I really need y'all just know a little bit a little bit of a lot about the new stuff coming out. I like to stay up on it because my kids are into it. New social media apps, new talking apps. I just found out about Discord, but I think that's been around like forever, but it's like a Telegram, Signal, like all these things, just stay up on it cuz it will pass you by, y'all.
well, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people in this society that's going to pass by. It's just inevitable and unfortunate. Hey guys, there go the hearts in the chat room one more time. Can you guys participate with Sister Soldier, our unofficial official moderator, and let's put those hearts in the chat room. And God bless you guys. Cindy's absolutely right. If two things are going to happen, you're either going to jump aboard or get left behind. And jump aboard. I think it's something very exciting. It's something that we need to learn. Uh, Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of industries that's going to be wiped out from the AI situation. I hope that states and federal government do regulate some of this AI because if there's no regulations to it, we're doomed to just be uh, dominated by the AI industry. She's absolutely right. Go out there and learn something about AI. Hey guys, put the hearts in the chat room. I love you guys doing it, man. I'm going to actually put the hearts in the chat room as well. And okay,
Have you
so
seen those little videos, Shawn? The AI videos with the babies
yeah,
that are like talking like grown adults?
yeah,
I love those videos.
me too.
I want like a show of little babies doing adult stuff. I that's what I would watch on YouTube. Somebody needs to make a long form of that on YouTube. I will be sad. Those things are so funny.
All right, calm down. Guys, we truly appreciate you. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team with the day one herself, the Queen, SennyJ. We are in the building. Probably by tomorrow or definitely by Monday, we will have a launch date for the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team live at Comedy in Harlem. This will not be an AI image. It'll be us in person. Cindy, what else you got before we get out of here?
Yes. My last story, because this is my type of carrying on. Okay. Shout out. Oh, you can see me? Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Hold on. Wait. Stop. Hold on. Reggie Reg in the chat room. God bless you. And thank you for your support. Only Prince Cox No Pause puts the black hearts in the chat room, sir. Uh, I need you to go back to regular hearts until further notice, if you don't mind. Princess Cox No Pause had dropped the black heart years ago. That's well documented. Sir, this is God bless you, Reggie Reg. Thank you so much for participating. But at the moment, Princess Cox, no pause. Black Heart is the only one with the black. See, one of his tag names is Black Heart. So Reggie Reg, if you don't mind, sir, and I truly appreciate you, could you put hearts in the chat room at this moment if you're still listening with a different
Reggie
color?
said, "Damn that. That's the last heart you gonna get from me, bro."
Reggie, see, Cindy, don't start the neighbor.
Now
Cindy's
you policing hearts now.
Cindy is such a neighbor. That's why she got a big dragonfly in the crib. Reg, God bless you, brother. Reggie
So I'm
Reg.
just gonna go to Reggie Reg's page and go say
No,
unfriend.
Reggie. See, Reggie, you playing. You playing. You putting black hearts in there
What you
again.
gotta do, Reggie? Protect your peace, King.
Reggie, Reginald, Reginald. Do me a favor, please. Uh, while Cindy's playing with a dragonfly, I need you to refrain from the black heart if you don't mind.
Let's hurry
And
up
God
because I
bless
need to lock myself in my room
you.
now.
And God bless you. I truly appreciate you, Reggie. Thank you so much. But if you could give me another color black heart right now, I will feel much better. And Reggie, we look forward to seeing you in September. Cindy, continue on. And Cindy, let's give a round of applause for Cindy J's neighbor fly that's in her house right now.
I think my daughter let it in. I'm gonna blame her.
Let's put a pause on let it in. What else you got, Cindy? No,
My
no, princess. No, princess. It's not all good. It's not all good. It's not all good. No, it's not. It's not all good. We take this for real. This is serious. We've been doing Black Hearts before Reggie Reg was born. Reggie, God bless. I need another heart, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. Go ahead, Cindy.
Jessica Arua, 29, okay, of Wellington, Florida, was arrested. The audacity. She was arrested on June 27th after allegedly pocketing more than $400,000 of someone else's salary. A police report from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office obtained revealed that trouble first arose in early 2023 when the Palm Beach Equines Clinic, it's like a vet, they take care of horses, caught the mistake and contacted the company's payroll provider, Harbor America, to advise that it had inputted someone else's information into Arua's account. Jessica, who is originally from Argentina, was getting paid like a veterinarian, roughly 7 times her normal salary from February 2022 to January 2023. While she allegedly admitted to knowing she was getting overpaid, she never reported the discrepancy to the clinic, stating she thought it was a raise. He allegedly had used the extra money at stores like Coach, Michael Kors, furniture shopping, and restaurants. Thousands of dollars were also sent through Zelle to a name called Ma Dukes, according to the police report, and also revealed $80,000 of the money was used to purchase a food truck for a friend of her mother's, and also admitted to sending money to people in Argentina to build a house. The report also said that she believed the extra funds were in her account as a bonus. She said she heard rumors before that the previous receptionist had received one for saving the practice money on supplies. She had worked at the practice for 9 years. She known the company president, who was the person to eventually call the police. What? That doesn't make sense. The police report also stated that the $450,000 a year veterinarian who was supposed to receive those checks did not monitor her checking account and deposits for the past year. Must be nice. So you getting paid so good, you don't realize a $400,000 loss over the year? You see, that's the problem. Um, Therefore, she didn't notice she hadn't received her salary payments until a few of her credit cards were declined. After Jessica had allegedly collected 8 to 10 months of the fraudulent direct deposit payments, the veterinarian confronted her. She broke down crying and admitted what that she was receiving the payments. In response to being called out, she wrote out a cashier's check for 200,000 of the estimated 414 she pocketed, but she claimed she could not return the rest of the money because her mother had already sent $100,000 of it to their family in Argentina. They thought it was a gift from God. When asked by the police why she hadn't attempted to return the remaining money or work out a payment plan, she said she did not know how to approach the company president because he was so angry. She was charged with grand theft of $100,000 or more and money laundering of $100,000 or more, and she's being detained at the detention center.
uh,
Um,
uh,
this is so sad. I feel
uh,
like everybody dropped the ball here, and poor Jessica is in jail.
uh,
She's from Argentina. She didn't know any better. She doesn't
uh,
know.
uh,
Jessica, you were supposed to get that money and dip to Argentina, not still go to work, ma'am.
uh,
Are you cool?
guys, we truly appreciate y'all. Put a number one in the chat room if you enjoyed the show today. Put a number two if you didn't. And thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you, even Reggie Reg, who's being defiant at the moment, but I'll deal with that later.
It's okay, Reg. You can put some orange hearts in there. I'm a little orangey today.
A shout out to Sharon Barnes entered the chat room, and thank you so much. And a shout out to Diane Hall, another day one. We truly appreciate you. It's so good to see you in the chat room, and God bless each and every one of you. Mrs. MG, God bless you. Reggie Reds, God bless you. What fascinates me is her name, Jessica. I like that, Jessica. Jessica, I like that. Uh, Jessica, you dropped the ball. You're supposed to take the funds and go back home. I do agree with Cindy. Go back home to Argentina because you wasted your time. Now you're detained. You could have had 400 and what is it? 400 $400,000. $400,000.
You had 200,000 left.
You got and Jessica, why are you giving the money back? Are you retarded? If you're gonna keep that same energy, don't give the money back. Your punk ass is being locked up.
You need that money.
You need every dime of it. You should have. You was City always tell these stories how these folks they keep robbing and robbing. She was taking the money from February 22 to January 23. You could have took 4 or 5 paychecks. No one would have known. You could have took $200,000 and went to work every day. Or you could have took the 400 and walked and said, "I can't work here no more. I'm out." And then ownership, what is that? Harbor American Payroll. They're liable. They're liable for this as well.
Oh, they going to court. It was y'all. Y'all gave me that extra money.
That's right. And you what's that? Yasmina. What was her name again?
Jessica.
Jessica. Yes, Jessica. Oh my God, Jessica.
Finish. The Y sounds like a J.
Yo, shut your Latin mouth, you neighbor, you Latin neighbor. Shut up. You're supposed to get an attorney. You're supposed to leave the country. You buy all these houses in Venezuela, and you're not even there to live in them.
Argentina.
Or Argentina, same thing, same thing.
I'm trying to go to Argentina. What's good?
Well, go visit Jessica. She'll have a house for you, even though she's detained. This is called hustling backwards. If you had the money that was clean and you have 400K, leave the job. Do what SennyJ. When Cindy used to have these jobs back in the day, she would quit abruptly and nobody knew about it and walked right out of there and didn't even pick up her last check. That's the type of energy you were supposed to have, Jessica. with that dumbass name. You were supposed to be like, that. Listen, I'm from the Bronx, New York. That's what Harvey would have did. I would have felt the pressure. I'm like, damn, I got $400. I got 400. I'm going to jail. I would just quit. Not coming in no more. Hang up the phone. You don't have my number. You don't have this. And then when they came with the prosecution with the court, and yo, you took money. I'm like, nah, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Here's my lawyer's number. But by that time, my punk ass is in where? Venezuela? Excuse me. What country was this?
Argentina.
Argentina. I'm in Argentina talking to my lawyers. I'm doing the Bernie Madoff. I'm doing the Russell Simmons. I'm in another country. I don't know. I can't come back there. It's too much. How much I owe them? I don't. I'd be like, I don't owe them nothing. I don't know what they're talking about. And you know you was doing wrong. You was getting hundreds of that. So you was getting checks for 100, 2,000, 4,000, $5,000 a minute.
Like, how much was you getting paid? It was less than $20 an hour, and all of a sudden your checks is like 10 grand.
10 grand. Yo, give a neighbor like me, Harvey, 10 grand a week. I'm not saying nothing.
I would have quit. Actually, I wouldn't have had 400,000 because I would have quit after that first bonus check. I'm gone.
I would have went to the Christmas parties and everything, and I would have said, all right. And me as a neighbor, I'd have been like, yeah, when I get the 375, out. I'm out. I'm going back to my country. I already bought the houses. Mom, pack your bags. Kiss America goodbye. The Trump administration doesn't even want you punk ass there.
I mean, that's the only good thing. She might get deported, and she could go chill in her $80,000 home she built.
I don't know. I don't know. They might make an example of us. Say, no, your punk ass stay here. You miscalculated. Jessica, that name's still tripping me out. You miscalculated. You had hundreds of thousands of dollars that if you played it right could have been generational wealth in your home country. You were supposed to buy all those properties, do everything that you was doing that Cindy reported, and got on the first flight and got out of here. And what they gonna do? You think I'm sorry, what country again?
Argentina.
You think Argentina, the country, was gonna expedite your punk ass back to the United States? Oh, you were supposed to get an attorney. You should have got Diddy's attorney. And you would have been sitting, you would have had to come back to the United States and you played yourself. But what pressure was that? You was tormented after your $300,000. I do give a credit. You gangster. You was still coming to work. Yo, how was you working? What was your mental state like? You know you getting $10,000 a week when your check was only for $600 a week. You getting 10,000. You going to work. You sweeping the floor. You're talking. Listen, I give you credit on that, but you dropped the ball when you got to $200,000 to $400,000. You were supposed to abruptly quit the job and get out of there. This was a Harbor American problem. But now you in jail for wire fraud and all this other stuff Cindy's talking about.
Adding on charges like this is just like that's what I'm saying. Why are you trying to hit her with all these charges when you know what I'm saying? That I mean, could she have been a big criminal mastermind? Maybe, but she didn't finagle anything to get that extra money. Y'all literally sent it to her, and she just did what any normal person would probably do. At least she was still coming to the job. Give her some and see. Damn.
She was a neighbor and apprentice. A real neighbor would have took all that paper and got out of there. I would have left.
No,
I'm out.
If she now see, this is where you realize, okay, Latin our POC brothers and sisters, right? You got the complexion, you know what I'm saying? But it's not enough for the protection. Because
right.
Sally Joe down at the job, she would have got a slap on the wrist and she would have got a payment plan to pay that money back, and she never went to jail.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yep.
So I want you to make sure you clock that T, Jessica.
That's right. And Jessica, you're sitting there next to El Chapo. You sit next to El Chapo right now. You are. This is a federal crime. Your punk ass might go nowhere. All right, guys. What's your thoughts on that? We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Toxic Talk Thursday. That took a turn for neighborship, but it's all good. What's your thoughts in the chat room about this story? We appreciate you. Cindy, we see you tomorrow. Any last words, Cindy, or what you want to say?
Nothing. It was so great spending the morning with you guys. Can't wait to do it again. Shout out to Sharon Bonds. Shawn, she said she got them tickets. When we going to Dykeman, the tournament started. I'm trying
Yo,
to be on the side with the
I
men.
I'll be in New York all next week, Sharon. Let's make it happen.
Okay, Sharon, let's do this.
All right, guys, we truly appreciate you. Don't forget, I'll be giving the date either today or definitely by Monday. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team live podcast. It'll either be September the 20th or the 27th. Y'all come on out, and we truly appreciate you. You guys be safe. God bless, and we see you tomorrow. See, let's wave at these folks. All right, later.